disruptors.
Candace, it's a wonderful day. I see that you've come to the meeting this morning and wanted
Absolutely.
to
I love our
be
podcast,
in the
especially
studio.
when we have Dr. Munson here.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of excited myself. Just to see you this early in the morning is incredible.
Well, you know, I'm not a rock dweller like you. So
yeah, that's
you
very
have
true.
to actually crawl out from underneath the rock.
It's tough
Minerals
around here.
are
There's a
better
lot
than-
of rocks out here to crawl out from. Barrels, rocks, so I could go on. But
All
anyway,
business, Bill.
yeah, I know how it goes.
Well, I mean, is it even daylight yet? Because it's wintertime, so does it ever get?
I don't think it
evening?
ever does. Such a depressing time. This is a good time to take vitamin C, isn't it? Or D, one of those
Vitamin
vitamins?
D, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well,
We need extra.
yes, I do.
I happen to know a wonderful doctor that would help you with that. Dr. Munson.
Dr.
can help you
Munson,
with that.
yes, and I am taking vitamin D, and we're not enough. Thank you. We're gonna continue on our journey today, if we can get a word in, edgewise.
I don't know. I'm kind of hungry today.
I see. Okay, Doc, let's continue on with our journey of the wellness trip that we're going to take to get our bodies really ready to go. And you wanted to talk. I know about some of the other pitfalls and some of the other wonderful things that we can do to make this journey successful.
Well, I did want to at least kind of tell a little tidbit about vitamin D. Do you know why it's called vitamin D? Why they use the D?
No.
It's for Dracula, because sun. I'm just kidding.
Well, that was the end of our show today, folks. And
So
That was awesome.
you take vitamin D and you immediately burst into flame, you could be a vampire.
well, you could be a
There we
vampire.
go. Now we know. It's the
Yeah.
telltale mark.
So all you zombie lovers out there, we're ready to take the wellness tour.
That's right. Well, we talked about last time about a wellness journey and what does it look like and how do people begin, what are some of the pitfalls, all that. And so today I really wanted to strengthen their resolve in that journey and give them some ideas that they can really take to heart and have fortitude in the long haul, so to speak. And we call it the PPD. And so if we have something that we feel like, I want to accomplish, and this could be anything in life, not necessarily a wellness journey, but it could be a business venture, it could be a marriage, it could be a relationship, it could be anything that you want better, or that you want to improve upon. And it's all going to come down to your PPD. And the PPD is purpose, passion, and discipline.
Wow, PPD.
PPD.
I think you should put that on your wall, Mr. Lee.
I'll do that right away.
So
Take a picture and post it. Sorry, I just want to hold him accountable. When?
When? Yeah.
When? What by when?
I'll work on it immediately. Now, would you let the doctor speak, for Pete's sake? Go
So
ahead.
let's say our wellness journey begins. We're like, you know what? I'm just not sleeping very well and I don't feel good. And so my purpose right now is to feel better. So that's my purpose. Is it a strong purpose? That's okay. If I only last 4 or 5 months on my wellness journey or only 2 weeks on my wellness journey, then we know that the purpose probably wasn't that strong of a purpose. And so developing a very strong purpose now becomes part of the driving force of that longevity of what it is you're trying to accomplish. So let's say if I want to start a business and I want to be an accountant. And I'm an accountant, but I don't like numbers. How long am I going to be an accountant?
Not long at all.
Not very long.
Yeah.
And so that's not a passion of mine. I might have a purpose of needing to make an income, but if it doesn't align with my passion, then that's probably not going to happen. And so if we have a passion for donuts, we can, because I do have a passion for donuts. I really like donuts. I have my favorite donut shop. Do you guys have your favorite donuts?
Oh, of
Yes.
course. Happy Donuts.
Happy Donuts.
Downtown
Happy
Puyallup.
Donuts.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What
Dr.
genre is
Munson.
that?
What makes them so good, man?
They are. Heaven.
It's a basic donut. It's nothing. Legendary donuts, they're okay.
Yeah.
It's just a big
It's
donut.
it's a cake donut. It's
Yeah.
not really. It's not a raised glazed.
Yeah.
And really, what did America grow up on? Raised glazed.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a basic good donut.
Yes. And on top of that, they let me come in and they don't make snide remarks like, oh, fat boy's here. It's,
That is an improvement.
so that is an improvement for me. Yeah.
Now, I did not know that we had this much in common because my favorite donut is indeed a cake donut, not glazed. And it's, if you go Highway 2 over to Wenatchee and go to the east side and hang a left and you're going to Chelan, you'll find almost to Chelan a red barn kind of in the middle of nowhere that's called the Arondo Ciderworks Press. And they make a small cake donut that I feel is to die for. And we'll literally get a dozen and we'll put them in our freezer and we'll cut them, like quarter them, and I'll have a quarter. as a treat now and again.
Oh,
So
no, that would not.
Oh,
See?
no. I'd leave a
Bring
quarter
back
in the
that
freezer.
discipline.
Yeah, the discipline. And the freezer has to have a lock.
I just got. I love banana bread.
oh, man.
Oh, homemade banana bread.
Homemade banana bread, and we had some banana bread here, and I've gone off the greens, so it's like I have to get rid of this. So I cut up the last of the banana bread last night, and I fed it to my in-laws.
Nice.
Well, the moral of that story
can't keep
is...
it here. I just can't do it. I know that if it's here, eventually I'm going to eat it.
Sure.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely.
my discipline is not bringing it in and
Feeding it to in-laws.
Indeed.
and no, but I know where my discipline's at.
Yeah.
And my discipline is no discipline if it's here.
Sure.
Because I won't go out and get it. So I won't make a special trip to go get a donut or go get some bread or something. Somebody will have to bring it in.
I never make a special trip either. It's the traffic. It goes right by the donut shop, and you can smell the fumes with the window rolled down. You have to turn in.
Yeah,
Sure.
well,
I love a cruller. I like them if they're done right.
Yeah. If they're not, they're not so good.
And it's very interesting because a lot of that stuff, they really look at what their ingredients are. Many of these bakeries now are really getting into the organic aspect, which is good because nutrition-wise, we need to get back into the fundamentals of the basics again.
I long for the day when I go in and a bakery says, hey, we ground our own grain and we used fresh sesame oil because it resists high heat, and we replace the oil regularly so that it's not rancid. And this, we put just as little sugar as possible to make it just the right sweetness. And here's your donut. Man.
Now, wouldn't that be a day, huh?
That would be a day.
That would be a day. That would be a donut.
It would.
That would be a
amazing.
donut.
And so, here we have passion. You can hear our passion about donuts, man. They're good. And so as you start to have a passion for whatever it is in your life that you want to be able to do well, like if my passion as a doctor is to take care of people in the best way possible, and I can't be down because I'm constantly learning, constantly reading. If I really want my brain to be present, I really want my body to never go down. And I mean, could you imagine me telling my staff, hey, I'm calling in sick today because I can't make it? What kind of a wellness provider would I be?
That wouldn't be too good.
It wouldn't be too good.
No.
And so,
Contradiction.
As a patient, I would be getting back in the car.
I need to
Yes.
take my own medicine. And so, if my passion is to do that to the very best, then... And my purpose is now aligning with that. My purpose being a source of wholeness for individuals. So if I'm going to align that purpose and passion, my discipline now says, are you willing to skimp in areas? And so the discipline now starts saying, no, I won't do that. When I ask patients, what are you willing to accomplish? Sometimes they'll tell me, Doc, you got to be hard on me. I'll say, okay, so I'm going to pull no punches on you. I'm going to ask the really tough questions, and they're going to be really stupid questions, and I'm going to make you answer them. Most people don't like that way, but I have a couple clients, they really need that, and they're willing. And I said, hey, I'd rather love you and get you there, but if I have to use the stick, the motivation, then we will. So, all those things are important. So what is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your discipline? What do you love to do in life? What is your ultimate purpose, and what is that passion? What's fueling it? And now we can kind of get to those core values and then say, okay, well, now what kind of discipline do you want? And so all of us here are very aware of how to set a goal, and we all understand a SMART goal.
Sure.
We need to have. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be time sensitive. It needs to be specific. It needs to be doable. It has to be an actual goal. And so if we're going to make goals for a wellness journey, we want to have goals that are like, I will eat 3 servings of a vegetable or different vegetables today. And next month I'm going to go for 4 servings. And then I'm going to go for 5. And I'm going to try to hold at 5. And on some days I'm going to try to push up to 7 servings. Man, that's some really specific stuff. How are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to be going to the grocery store every Tuesday and Friday or whatever it is. These are small things. And as we start programming it into us and it becomes part of who we are, it now is ingrained in our DNA, so to speak. And now, okay, what's my next level of wellness that I can get to? So these are the kind of small steps that we want to see happening.
So you're mentally setting yourself up to advance, watching what you're doing, but to advance in a slow pace so that it isn't like, bang, cold turkey, I've got to do this.
There are very few people that can cold turkey it. And those that can, man, God bless them. I'm not one. It took me 2 years to really, truly give up grains myself. Do I still have them on occasion? Absolutely. I'm going to enjoy some things now and again. I'm not going to just withhold that. I'm still going to enjoy life. And I want each listener out there to have certain things. Find out what it is you love the most. Okay, so ice cream. I love ice cream. I am not going to eat non-organic. I can taste the chemicals in a non-organic ice cream. It is not anything I want to put in my body. It's not what I'm looking for. But when I have an organic vanilla or a chocolate chip or a sugar cookie or cookies and cream, or my favorite, which is Oreo, ice cream, with vanilla with pieces of Oreo in it, I'm going to do that. And I'm usually going to make my own. I'm going to have organic heavy cream. I'm going to have organic whole milk. I'm going to use just a little bit of sugar because I'm going to crush up 5 Oreos and put it in a whole pint. I know it sounds crazy, only 5 Oreos, but it really doesn't take much. And I'm okay eating, a quarter of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I had an Oreo and a quarter. I had 2 tablespoons of sugar, but am I going to do that every day? No. But if I'm going to live, I'm going to live.
Yeah.
And so I want you to be able to do things that aren't good for you in a way that is better and still gives you that taste that you're looking for.
I think sometimes people in their mindset, working with clients, they have sometimes, I think identifying what type of mindset do you have. Do you self-sabotage?
Sure.
Do you, are you the victim? Because if you're the victim, you're always, the line was too long in the store, I couldn't find the recipe, or, everyone else is to blame. But I think that when you realize that you honestly, in this day and age, you really are in control.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people then will say, excuses, right? Because we can come up with a trillion excuses, but a lot of it, eating better is more expensive. No, it's just different.
It is different.
It isn't more expensive. It's just different.
Yep.
So you're spending more money maybe on certain items, but you're not running through the fast food chain 4 times a week or 5 times a week. So, you're saving money over here.
Yes.
So you're spending it differently. So I think that sometimes people they're not looking at the whole picture. So are there any tools that you give your clients that can help them establish when they're talking about, because everyone to a degree is resistant to change.
Yes. To
a degree. And so, or is it really just an internal process where they have to have that aha moment and say, I ask a client, are you motivated by negative, or are you motivated by positive? I can tell you, oh my gosh, if you continue to eat this way, you're going to die. You like that?
Exactly.
Oh, how lovely.
That's kind of blunt. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But,
yeah.
And then other people are, you're doing really, really well. I mean, I don't know if there's an answer for that. But since we're talking about mindsets.
Yeah, most of the time it's really looking at the wins. If we're going away from grains, I always tell people, don't think about not doing grains. That's not helpful. But if you're like, I'm going to focus on where my good fats and my vegetables are coming from, the grains will absolutely take care of themselves. And eventually we're going to be working into such a diet that, I think I'm willing to actually give up grains for even 2 weeks. I remember the first time I said, I'm ready to give up grains for 2 whole weeks solid. I had halved my grains, then I halved them again, and I'm like, I'm doing very little. I can do 2 weeks without any grain. And I did. And then I went back to eating them, and I felt like crap like you did.
Yep.
And I said, whoa, I really got to continue. Mm-hmm. And so I just did. And on occasion, I still did them and paid for it with either brain fog, or one day I remember eating something, and I literally took a 3-hour nap. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And knew that I couldn't do that anymore because I needed my brain, I needed my energy. I had so much in order to accomplish and do each day that I cannot waste that time. And so at that point, it was more of a stick mentality. It was a motivation rather than an inspiration. And so you'll find those little things as you go through this process. And yes, we do help people with handouts and tools that they can have and see and look. But a lot of it's going to be the discipline on their own end. That,
absolutely.
They really do need to own it. And ultimately, they need to experience. They need to experience the setbacks. They need to experience all that and not beat themselves up, but laugh about it and say, okay,